On a gray afternoon in early spring, rain painted streaks down the cafe window like tears tracing the glass. Inside, a young woman sat motionless in her wheelchair, her eyes fixed on a small white birthday cake set on the table before her. 22. Candles flickered gently, fighting against the faint draft from the door that opened and closed as strangers came and went. Outside, the city moved with its usual rhythm, taxis splashing through puddles, umbrellas bobbing like colorful shields against the rain. Yet here, inside this warm little cafe, time seemed to hold its breath. Her hands rested still in her lap, the sleeves of her soft pink sweater pulled over trembling fingers. It was her birthday, but there were no friends, no family, no laughter, only the quiet hum of the espresso machine and the bittersweet scent of vanilla icing in the air. The world might have thought she had everything. After all, she was the daughter of one of the city's most powerful CEOs, but in this moment she had never felt more alone. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of strangers changing lives, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to Kinnis Corner, share it with someone who could use a little hope, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. It helps us keep telling stories that matter. Her name was Whitmore. She had been paralyzed from the waist down for 3 years, the result of a car accident that changed everything. Before the accident, she was the definition of light, always moving, dancing, chasing sunsets with her camera in hand. But in a single moment, one rainy night on the freeway, her dreams had been fractured like the glass that had shattered around her. Since then, she had lived in a carefully curated world. Expensive care, a home filled with staff, a father whose presence was more like a ghost moving from boardrooms to private jets. People spoke her name with admiration for the empire she was tied to. Yet when they looked at her now, they saw only her wheelchair. Invitations dwindled. Friends drifted away. Even on her birthday, the one day she had quietly hoped someone might show up, she found herself staring at an untouched cake, the flame of each candle dancing for an audience of one. Across the cafe, a man stepped in from the rain, shaking water from his hair and holding a small paper bag. Behind him was a little girl, no more than 7, in a yellow dress with white shoes now damp at the edges. She held a cupcake in both hands, its tiny frosting star wobbling as she looked around for a place to sit. The man, his flannel shirt worn at the cuffs, his jeans faded but clean, scanned the room and paused when his eyes landed on something about her. The way she stared at the candles, as if they were the last stars she could see, made him hesitate. He could have taken the table in the corner, could have gone about his day, but something in him refused to look away. Ara didn't notice them at first. Her thoughts were far away to the accident, to the months of rehab, to the sound of her father's voice saying he had to fly out for an urgent meeting. On the very day she had begged him to stay, she had learned not to expect anything from anyone. Birthdays were just a reminder of time passing, and time she had decided wasn't her friend. Yet, as she blinked away the sting in her eyes, she saw the little girl approaching. Behind her came the man carrying 2 cups of coffee. The girl stopped at the table, her big brown eyes, curious but kind, and her father placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. The cafe seemed to grow quieter as they stood there. The rain outside softened. For a moment, Elara wondered if she was imagining it, if the loneliness in her heart had conjured them out of thin air. But then the man spoke softly, his voice warm and steady, asking if they could join her. It was such a simple question, yet it crashed into the silence around her like a wave against stone. They sat together, and slowly the space between strangers began to fill. The little girl, her name was Sophie, asked about the cake, about the candles, about the number 22. She told R it was her mom's favorite number. Her father, whose name was Daniel, listened more than he spoke at first, sensing that this wasn't just a birthday. It was a silent battle had been fighting for years. Over steaming cups of coffee and the gentle sweetness of shared cupcakes, Ara found herself speaking aloud truths she hadn't shared with anyone in a long time. She told them about the accident, about the way her life had slowed to a stillness. She didn't know how to escape. Daniel listened with the kind of attention that asked for nothing in return. Sophie, with the innocence of a child, didn't seem to notice the wheelchair at all. She only noticed a smile when it finally began to return, timid at first, then stronger. Hours passed, and the rain outside gave way to a pale sunset that washed the streets in gold. For the first time in years, Ara didn't dread the passing of the day. There was laughter at the table, soft and genuine. And when they finally parted ways, Daniel and Sophie left her with more than just company. They left her with proof that strangers could bring back color to even the most faded corners of a heart. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, subscribe to Kinless Corner, and share it with someone who needs to believe that there is still goodness in the world. Your engagement helps us keep telling stories that remind us all of what really matters. Before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell us about a time when a stranger's kindness made a difference in your subscribe to our channel.